nigga never been as broke as me. I like that. When I was young, I had 2 pair of leaves. Besides that, the pinstripes and the gray. The one I wore on Mondays and Wednesdays. While niggas flirt, I'm sewing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You wanna see the inside? I see you later. Here come the drama. Oh, that's that nigga with the fake. Wow, why you punch me in my face? Stay in your place, play your position. Here come my intuition. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watch it, and hoes clock it. Here comes respect. His crew's your crew, or they might be next. Look at they man, big man, they never try, so we roll with them. I stole with them, I mean loyalty. Niggas bought me milks at lunch, the milks with chocolate, the cookies, butter crunch, 80 long as I got stuff for most of them soft. Even when I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box cutter make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking bitches ain't my homegirls now. Start stacking, dabbled in crack, gun packing. Nickname Medina, made the scenes, took my Ninas. From gym class to in-glass, pass off for global. The only nigga with a mobile. Can't you see like total? Getting larger in waist and taste. Ain't no telling where this felon is heading. Just in case, keep a shell at the tip of your melon. Clear the space. Your brain was a terrible thing to waste. Realizing to master enterprise and I ain't have to be in school by 10. I then began to encounter with my counterparts on how to burn the block apart. Break it down into sections. Drugs by these selections. Some use pipes, others use injections. Syringe sold separately. Frank the deputy, quick to grab my Smith & Wesson like my dick was missing. To protect my position, my corner, my layer. While we out here, say the hustler's prayer. If the game shakes me or breaks me, I hope it makes me a better man. Take a better stand, put money in my mom's hand. Get my daughter this college plan, so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid, only make moves when your heart's in it. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. Motherfucker. 88. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. Put money in my mom's hand. Get my daughter this college plan, so she don't need no man. Stay far from timid, only make moves when your heart's in it. And live the phrase, sky's the limit. Never been as broke as me. I like that. When I was young, I had 2 pair of leaves. Besides that, the pinstripes and the gray. The one I wore on Mondays and Wednesdays. While niggas flirt, I'm sewing tigers on my shirt and alligators. You wanna see the inside? I see you later. Here come the drama. Oh, that's that nigga with the fake. Wow, why you punch me in my face, stay in your place, play your position, become my intuition. Go in this nigga pocket, rob him while his friends watch it, and hoes clock it. Here comes respect. His crew's your crew, or they might be next. Look at they man, big man, they never try, so we roll with them, stole with them. I mean loyalty. Niggas bought me milks at lunch. The milks with chocolate, the cookies, butter crunch, 80. Long as I got stuff for most of them soft. Even when I was wrong, I got my point across. They depicted me the boss. Of course, my orange box cutter make the world go round. Plus I'm fucking bitches ain't my homegirls now. Start stacking, dabbled in crack, gun packing. Nickname Medina, made the scenes, took my Ninas. From gym class to in-glass, pass off for global. The only nigga with a mobile. Can't you see like total? Getting larger in waist and taste. Ain't no telling where this felon is heading. Just in case, keep a shell at the tip of your melon. Clear the space. Your brain was a terrible thing to waste.
Say something real quick.
Saying something real quick.
Alright, cool. And my camera's messed up, of course. Let me fix that before we get into this intro. Okay, what is going on, guys? We're back with yet again another edition of the Notorious Heels Podcast, man. This is episode 88 of the podcast, and this is episode 88 of the podcast, man, and also episode 88 of the news, man. And if this is your first time watching, and you guys do not know how the show works, every Monday we're on here with Notorious Unscripted, and every Friday we're on here with the news, man. We're on here with the news, just like we are doing here today. So, with that being said, speaking of Monday, if you guys have not got a chance to watch this past Monday's episode of Unscripted, Hook or Crook, the amazing debut, AEW debut of Hook, you guys could go check that out right now, man, to get our thoughts on that. We also not only talk about Hook, but we talk about I guess, another awful week of WWE television.
Literally, man.
And through all of that, this company still believes that they have needle movers.
Okay. Man.
In the company, man. And with that, like I said, that is available on all platforms now, including Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And if you want to see it first, you come right here on YouTube every Monday and Friday, man. So, with that being said, also, I got some important dates here for you guys, man. So, next week's news. Next week happens to fall on Christmas Eve. Now, we know that most of the people that, you know, are humans do something on Christmas Eve, and they'll be with somebody or doing something. And the last thing you'd want to do is watch a wrestling podcast. With that being said, we will not be live next Friday. Instead, we will be live with the news next Wednesday. We'll be live next Wednesday, which happens to fall on Cirque Day. And, yes, that falls on Wednesday, so that'll be the same day that AEW Holiday Bash goes on. We will be on here with the news, probably a little earlier, so we're not cutting it as close to Dynamite. We'll announce the times as we get closer to it. So also next we have December the 26th. That is on a Sunday. We will be doing the Notorious Heels Podcast End of Year Awards. So we will be doing Last year we did the Slammies. Figured we don't call them the Slammies this year because that's kind of WWE's thing, or it was.
Yeah.
So we'll just go with the traditional, I guess, way of calling them the end of year awards, the Notorious Heels Podcast end of year awards. We will be live Sunday, December 26th around 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, so that one we do have a time for. And New Year's in 2 weeks, Friday happens to be New Year's Eve, and obviously, like I said, same thing for Christmas Eve. Most of the time, people are doing something on those days. Therefore, we will be live Thursday, December 30th, with the New Year's episode. Also, no time for that yet, but we will announce those on our social medias, which are right below us. So if you guys are interested in that, then just keep up with our socials. So, yeah, man. So we got December 22nd is the Christmas episode, but not only is it a Christmas episode, it is Sir K's birthday episode. With that, we have December 26th for the Notorious Heels Podcast End of Year Awards. That means on the 27th, we will not be live with Notorious Unscripted. The End of Year Awards takes Unscripted's place. For those of you that weren't here when we first talked about Unscripted, which was probably about 70 weeks ago. So, and then also with that, we will be live. We'll not be live Friday the 31st. Instead, we'll be live Thursday the 30th of December for the New Year's Eve episode of the show, man. So, now, with all that being said, if this is your first time watching, guys, do not know who we are here at the Notorious Heels Podcast. I am Johnny Mayhem, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man, Sir K here. How's it going, man?
Yeah, it's going pretty good, man. It's going pretty good. People are moving out, painting rooms and painting this room. So next 2 weeks are going to be very, very busy. But overall, man, I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good, though. But what about you, man? How you doing?
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Just getting ready for Christmas, man. I guess no much more needs to be said around this time other than that, bro. Just getting ready for Christmas. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But before we get started, we got Durante McDaniel in the comments. Thank you for coming back. I always see your name in the comments. Imagine re-signing and then 6 months later, future endeavored. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about Kevin Owens. With the amount of money they paid him, which is an absurd amount. Well, deserved, but WWE never gives out money like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Eventually, it's going to come around.
I feel like it's eventually going to be a Braun situation. But...
Yep, where WWE believes that they did not get back on their investment, and then he says WWE is very interested in MJF. I wonder why. Yeah, I thought they weren't going for AEW talent because those are the indie guys. What happened?
What happened to that?
What happened to that mentality, bruh? These fucking people, man. They're like little children.
Literally.
Yeah, bro, we got a couple. Well, we got a story that just broke by Dave Meltzer. I guess we'll go over this first because it's kind of evident, but I haven't read it yet, so you guys are getting a live reaction. I only read the title of the article. The title of the article was Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt not rushing a pro wrestling return. So, Rotunda is one of the names that is always associated with AEW. So far, he has not publicly spoken about his next steps in pro wrestling. In this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer gave an update on Wyndham's future in the squared circle. Wyndham, and I quote, Wyndham, the former Bray Wyatt, is another name that has been talked about. The last we heard was that he had the movie gig and didn't want to come back so soon. Whether he comes back here or Impact, I don't know at this point. He may not be in a rush to do anything given that he had one of his top 5 or 6 contracts in WWE, so unless he was living incredibly large, he shouldn't have financial issues forcing him back until he feels like it. At one point, he was a part on money from both promotions.
Hmm.
So, yeah, man. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think I don't. So I do think that he's not. I don't think he's purposely trying to stay away from professional wrestling. I
Hmm.
just think he's trying to catch up for opportunities he may have lost in WWE. Because
Exactly.
if he found a movie gig this quickly, what do you think was
Was
offered
being
to this
offered
man in
over the
WWE
years.
that he couldn't
Exactly.
do?
He was probably offered so much shit and couldn't do none of it, and he wants to do it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's just how the situation is. It's not that he's not interested in pro wrestling anymore. He's just wants to do other shit when since he has not only the time but the possibility to. No one's stopping him.
Right. Right. So, yeah, man. So Bray Wyatt, I like I said, I mean, I know we all want to see him at AEW. I know we all wish we could have seen him at Winter is Coming, but at the end of the day, the man is filming his movie, bruh. He's filming his movie, so he he's we're not going to have him as quick as
No,
we would have liked him to be here. So with that, I do think I definitely will. Meltzer's still kind of throwing around here, whether it's AEW or Impact. The guy's not going to fucking Impact. I don't know how
yeah,
many times I have to reiterate that, but dude is not going to Impact. I can promise you all of that. He he knows his worth. He's going to go to AEW. Like I said, it's just a matter of time. And Wyndham is such a cryptic guy. He loves to play that cryptic role. He's going to give us the debut when we least expect it, type thing.
mhm,
Or it's just going to be a long wait, and it's not that we're not going to expect it, but he's going to try to make everybody forget about him,
exactly.
type thing, and then he'll show up at a show like Revolution. So
Yeah,
yeah, man,
exactly.
yeah. So I know he's from the Florida area, uh, and what is it? Revolution's in Orlando, so yeah,
Who
I'm
knows?
sure he will be with AEW when the time is right. But for him, the time just may not be right now. Being that, like, obviously, we said he's got everything else going on with his movies and stuff. So good
Hmm.
for him, man. He's making up for lost time and lost
Exactly.
opportunity at that.
Y-
Lost
Yeah.
opportunity. So yeah, man. Uh, what else we got in here? Oh, also this Owen Hart, Owen Hart Cup tournament. Let's see. AEW President, CEO, General Manager, Head of Creative. Good Lord, how many fucking things does this guy have to his name? Tony Khan made a guest appearance on Busted Open Radio. During this time on the show, he revealed that there will be two separate tournaments of singles matches for the Owen Hart Cup. The plan is to put on a tournament for the men's division and a women's division. The date and venue for the Owen Hart Cup tournaments is yet to be declared. It will be announced during tonight's AEW Rampage episode on TNT. During a September interview with Busted Open, Khan stated that his conversations with Martha Hart took over a year. Both parties had a lot of thought into their partnership. The Owen Hart Cup will be a great opportunity to celebrate the late Canadian uh, pro wrestling legend's life. The participants of the Owen Hart Cup will also be soon revealed. We might get an idea after tonight's episode of AEW Rampage. Stay tuned for the updates on AEW's inaugural Owen Hart Cup. Yes, so it looks like we're getting two tournaments for this. I, I think it's safe to say we won't see this until after the TBS tournament's done, because if there's a tournament, you're not gonna have two tournaments for the women going on at the same time. I mean, your women's division
God
is just
no.
not that big. It's really not that big, and I know they've narrowed it down to four, but four of those women that are in that TBS tournament could be vital parts um to this tournament.
Hmm.
So you don't want to have them in two tournaments at once. So I think it's safe to say we might see the culmination of both of these tournaments happen at Revolution. So I could see both of these tournaments. Please let
I
them be
could.
16 men, 16 women tournaments. I don't like 8. 8's too small. 8 feels like I'm playing 2K. I like
Exactly.
16. Makes it feel like a big deal. But yeah, man. So Owen Hart Cup. I mean, I think it's safe to say that these are going to happen sometime after January 5th when this TBS tournament is all wrapped up. So, yeah. With that being said, yeah, I think it's safe to say, but it's good that we're finally hearing about these again. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Exactly. And then with the women's too, we could also see a lot of debuts in that tournament. I could see a
Very
lot of
true.
people debuting then
Very true.
for the women's tournament. Even some of the men's tournament too, man. But it's very intriguing. I wonder when it is. I think, like you said, I think the culmination will be at Revolution. So I think it'll start soon, but not too soon, which is good.
Right. Right. Yeah, man. So that is the latest news we got on the Owen Hart Cup situation. Now, with that, we can actually get on to the news that we have in the notes. So, I guess the oldest piece of news we have here, Hook. Hook. After his amazing debut at Rampage last week, Hook has signed with AEW. I was kind of shocked. I thought he was signed the whole time, so
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked to see that he wasn't. However, Hook signs with AEW, and not really much to go over here, being the fact that, like I said, I genuinely thought this man was already signed, but now that he's finally secured the bag and he's got the contract, congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him. He definitely earned it. He definitely earned
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
for sure. He earned it after that debut. Like I said, this man basically took over Team Taz with that debut as the
Oh yeah.
leader. That theme song, man, he's great. He's great. He will be a huge star in the next coming years for AEW, man. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, man. Hell yeah. Good for
For
him.
sure. For sure. So, yeah, good for Mr. Hook. And, yeah, man. Also, signing with AEW, we got some speculation. Kind of. Well, actually, it is being reported. So, well, I guess it's speculation until we see him. But we all know this man signed. According to Cassidy Haynes of Body Slam, ROH and New Japan Strong star Brody King has reportedly signed with AEW. Haynes reported King signed with AEW almost immediately after ROH announced that they were going on hiatus until April 2022 at the end of October.
Man, he most
Brody
definitely
King.
signed.
Brody King. So we're going to get to it on Monday, but Brody was, I mean, if anybody watched the Malachi Black segment, you can obviously see very large shoulders under that robe.
Oh yeah.
Brody is a big guy. You could see a very large man under that rope. Why do I keep saying rope? Robe. So
Bruh.
obviously you could tell it's Brody. There's a very tiny point where you could see, white skin under the rope,
Yeah.
and obviously we all know Brody's white, so it's obvious. It's obvious that
Obviously.
it's Brody, and then the line that is going to
Definitely.
it's going to shock people that don't keep up with the indies, but most of everybody that has kept up with, Marty Skrull or just the indies in general knows who Brody is. Obviously, everybody
Yeah.
knows him from the Villain Enterprises. Obviously, that's when Bullet Club was hotter than a fucking pizza oven. So
Literally.
everybody was, keeping up with Marty, so everybody knows Brody from there. Um, And then obviously, like I said, anybody that keeps up with just the Indies or ROH knows who Brody King is. And I did not know this until Black was released, but they are good friends. They just don't.
Yeah,
They not only look alike, but they are good friends. So,
exactly.
and apparently they were tag team partners, man. So, with that being, I didn't know that, but it genuinely fits like a glove. I remember when I went to AAW on Bourbon Street. Um, what is that? Probably like 5 minutes from my house, actually. They,
Yeah.
I got the chance to actually meet Brody King. He was such a fucking cool person. Definitely my
Oh
favorite
yeah.
person that I met that night. He was so cool. He was such a cool dude.
You're talking about, bro, is definitely Jeff Cobb.
Bro, I,
No, it was definitely Cole Cabana.
I don't even want. Oh, bro. Two of the most awkward meet and greets ever. Jeff Cobb. I love Jeff Cobb, but at the same time, I hate him. And Cole Cabana, you know, he.
You almost brought it up.
I know, man. This man. I don't know. Awkward confrontation. But for the good ones. For the good ones, man, Brody King was 100% the coolest dude I met that night. I actually had 2 conversations with him. I actually messaged with him a little bit after the show. I texted
Oh,
him, I DM'd him on Twitter because I asked him where I could buy his merch. And he told me, and we had a conversation for a little bit. But regardless, Brody King is such a cool dude, and I'm so happy for him. I'm beyond happy for him. I predicted this. I told him, I swear to God, guys, when you leave Ring of Honor, you're going to be a huge star. I told him that. I said you're going to do great. I told him I was like, I know. I'm not saying you're not going to take off in ROH because I know you're going to do great. But your next destination from here, you're going to be a star. I fucking said that to him. I swear to God. I said that to him.
Look at him now. Shit's crazy.
So anyway, Malachi Black gave it away. Like I said, for anybody that, like I said, it's gonna shock people that don't know, that don't keep up with the indies or anything like that. But for the people that do, like us, Brody King, bro, he bends over and he says in his ear, "Now you're so much more than a king."
Man, that shit's heat.
Bro. Whew.
Come on.
Shit
Who
is
else could
going
it
to
be?
be heat, bro. I love Brody King, man. Like I
It's gonna
said,
be
not
Peter
only an awesome dude, but fucking incredible performer, incredible. But
Hell
man,
yeah.
I'll tell you, he was the first. He was standing there. He was standing there in the beginning of the show, and I had knew him because of Marty and Villain Enterprises. So
Mhm.
I went right up to him, bro, and we talked until his line got big. We talked for like 10 minutes. We were just sitting there talking and stuff. And then after the show, I talked to him again. And yeah, genuinely a cool fucking dude. Cool dude, man. So
Hell yeah.
I couldn't be more happy for Brody King. And I'm so excited to see him with Malachi Black. Those two fit so well together. And I'm happy to see the House of Black start to form.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. Finally. Shit. It's all coming together.
For sure. You love to see it, bro. You love to see it. Yeah, man.
Hell
So,
yeah.
just a kind of little piece of news, but also very interesting as well. FTR, they spoke recently about expecting to have more tag team matches with the Young Bucks after losing the titles. And I quote, this is very interesting here. We did it in front of, and I quote, we did it in front of 1,000 fans, and when the match was over, I cannot explain to you the emotions that went through. Man, we did it. We had 1,000 fans there, and I could feel their emotions because finally their heroes won the championships from us. I think they thought we saw the greatest tag team of all time was, and maybe they thought we saw the greatest tag team match of all time, and we thought we were going to have multiple matches as well. And then there was a train that completely stopped all of that. Very interesting. I think during the end of 2020, I think we can all say that AEW botched the major storyline.
Oh yeah.
They botched the Kenny part for sure.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, with that awkward heel turn. Not only that, but FTR was a big part of that story because they were the ones kind of manipulating Hangman.
Yeah.
And it would have made sense for the Bucks to beat them the first time to, kind of have Hangman's back, and that's kind of the symbolism there. But then after that, I thought we were going to get... Everybody was saying, that was great, but we need to run this back. And they never ran it back. And
So
FTRs kind of went on to honestly just be laughing stocks.
they really are, bro.
Ever
That's
since
their own
then.
doing.
And they kind of like just changed up everything that made them cool to me. They wear robes. They, Cash has like the long mullet now, kind of. So
Yeah,
and
they have that fucking theme
that
music.
fucking theme song. God damn it, bro. That fucking that is a fucking horrible song. Horrible.
Oh yeah, terrible.
So I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I think we all feel the same way in that sense. It ended very awkward, and it was one of those situations where just, are we going to run this back? And they didn't. And it was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He said then there was a train that completely stopped all that. I don't know if I don't know what it is, man. You never know what that is. That could have been the Bucks kind of, I don't know, I guess saying fuck you to them, or I don't know how true that is, but then again, you don't really know if these groups actually envied each other because they make it seem very real.
Yeah,
But
they really do.
But you don't know if maybe it's like a competitive nature, but I mean, you never know. You never know, but this is very true, man. This is very true, and it's sad to see that FTR wanted this to continue and it didn't.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Yeah, man. I thought the right way of playing that into that story was to have FTR win the first couple matches, and then maybe have the Bucks win at like Winter is Coming that year.
Yeah, something like that.
And then that would have been, and then you could have done something really cool, because if the Bucks won on the same night Kenny won, Kenny would have sped off with Don Callis, and the Bucks could have stayed back, and that would have been the symbolism of they beat FTR to avenge Hangman, and Kenny went on his way. You know what
exactly.
I mean? That would have been, but the whole end of that was very botched. It was very botched.
They really did not do great with that. It was so weird.
Yeah, in 2021 they did very good with it. They did very good with it.
Very good at 2020.
Man, but the end of 2020, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it definitely sucks to hear, I guess, that we never really got the whole saga of matches between these guys. But then again, maybe the train that completely stopped all of that was live fans. I mean,
could be, yeah.
Because if that crowd was that electric during 1,000 fans in attendance, could you imagine 20,000?
Oh, it would have been unbelievable.
Yeah, it would have. But with that being said, I mean, these groups, and I know FTR were saying a couple days ago that they don't have much longer on their current AEW contracts, and they want to do more stuff outside of
AEW.
Outside of AEW, I know they mentioned they wanted to be IWGP Tag Team Champions. So, I mean,
I see them taking a break from AEW and going other places.
And I think that would be very needed. I think
I
it would
think
be
so.
very needed as well.
I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I think you can have the Briscoes write them off, and then from there, they can go do better things for a while than being
Exactly.
MJF's
Fucking
pimps, I
fuck
guess.
boys.
I don't know.
Literally, two little
So,
fuck boys he rents out.
yeah, for real, man, for real. Um, let's see. Hmm. Did we go over this last year or last week? Tony Khan hints at AEW. Tony Khan hints at AEW making more debuts.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
It was all about the hype for Winter's
Winters.
Coming when we talked about it.
Yeah. Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly, man. This man, this is not really news, but this is very interesting to go over nonetheless. Kyle O'Reilly hints at a AEW debut. Now, Adam Cole, this past Wednesday, told Bobby Fish that they have a surprise for the Bucks. And, well, he told the Bucks that he has a surprise for them. And I swear he gave the side eye to Bobby Fish, and he smirked. And then at C2E2, somebody asked him if he would be willing to reunite the Undisputed Era, and he said he would love to. He said he would love that idea.
Man, oh man.
Bro.
Just tell the viewers what you said about the little present, what that present actually is, because I think that's what it's going to be.
So Adam Cole had, a Christmas box that, you put t-shirts in. And that was the point where he said, I got a surprise for you. And the Bucks said, no, let's not do it now. Let's save it for next week. So Adam Cole, while he's looking at this box, he gives Bobby Fish the side eye, and he smirks. And he puts the box down, and he says, okay, I'll give you guys the surprise next week. That fucking surprise is going to be a undisputed, or whatever they're going to be called, an Undisputed Era t-shirt, an AEW one.
Yeah.
And Kyle O'Reilly will be at Holiday Bash next week. Mark my fucking words. Because
it's about to go crazy.
As much as I was disappointed from Winter Is Coming, as far as debuts go, the show was great, but debuts, I expected a debut.
Mm-hmm.
They know exactly what they did. They know people were expecting a debut. They know it. And these next 3 weeks, you got Holiday Bash, you got New Year's Smash, which is also the last episode of Dynamite on TNT.
Mm-hmm.
Then next week you have the first January, and then the next week after that you have the first episode of AEW on TBS. You got 4 huge weeks of Dynamite in a row. Somebody's debuting at one of these shows, and maybe all of them. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know, man. But look, I'm telling you, bro. Kyle O'Reilly tweeted, and then Kyle O'Reilly tweeted out a GIF saying, "What's in the box?"
Come on, bro. That
fucking box is an undisputed fucking t-shirt, bro. It's an undisputed t-shirt, and Adam Cole is going to turn on the Bucks. And this is what I love about this storyline arc. These are things that are thrown into this story that were never planned to, because nobody expected all these mass releasings and people's contracts coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Omega's gone. He can't defend his brothers. So, I don't think right away, but now we go from seeing the storyline arc of the ultimate breakup, the culmination of the breakup between the Bucks and Hangman. Now we're going to see the great storyline arc of them getting back together.
Man, oh man.
Listen, man.
About to go crazy.
The Hung Bucks will be a thing for sure, man. For sure.
Oh, yeah. next year, early next year, I think the reformation is coming. I can't wait to see what happens when they're reformed and then Kenny comes back. Oh man, that's gonna be even crazier.
Oh, great, great shit. So Kyle O'Reilly will be at Holiday. What is it? Holiday Bash
I think it's
next
called
week.
Holiday Bash.
Yeah, yeah. I keep getting Holiday Bash and New Year's Smash mixed up.
Oh
So
yeah.
anyway, but Kyle O'Reilly will be there next week for
Shit
sure,
about to
bro.
be
And that
crazy.
fucking what's in that box is a best-selling item on pro,
It's gonna be
on ProWrestlingTees.com, man. So
yep, gonna beat out Hook.
with that being said, Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy, man.
Man,
Jeff Hardy appeared sober before walking out his last WWE match. Jeff Hardy is a true veteran in the pro wrestling world, having worked in the business for well over 2 decades now. He was one of the mainstays of WWE television, returning back to the company in 2017. It seems like he might have been sober during his final match. Jeff Hardy had a long and difficult road reaching to the top of WWE. During his first 2 runs in the company, he had to combat his demons, which included substance abuse issues. As reported earlier, Jeff Hardy was replaced by Rey Mysterio in a match during a recent live event in Corpus Christi. This is because he was sent back home. It was even led to Jeff Hardy trending on social media. Unfortunately, he was released from WWE. To add to that, Jeff Hardy even turned down rehab prior to his firing. News of his release has truly shocked the pro wrestling world to its core, and many reacted to it. According to Wrestling News Co., a backstage WWE source claimed Jeff seemed to be sober and fine and not impaired at all before his match. And I quote,
man,
I saw him before the match, and he was nothing out of the usual going on with him. Jeff deals with back and knee issues, but I don't know he drank anything or took any pills before that show. As far as I know, he's been doing great since the DUI arrest from a couple years back. I know people are wondering why he would be allowed to go out if he was fucked up and looked fine, he looked fine before the match. Listen, we said this last week. Jeff Hardy deals with pain while he wrestles.
yeah,
Why do you have
exactly.
him on that schedule? If he wants to wrestle, put him in a match every TV. That's once a week. That's
It's
once a
simple.
week, man. That's once a week.
Occasional pay-per-view.
Exactly. And then, the pay-per-view when it calls for it. But why? I said this last week, man. You know this guy struggles with pain issues. And sometimes when he deals with pain, his demons resurface. But in this scenario, we said it last week. Could it have just been his pain while he's
He was just in
sluggish?
pain. Exactly. Of course you're gonna be sluggish. You're in pain. You gotta do all this shit. This schedule, in his age, with his health, is not a great combination.
Matt Hardy even went out and said that he can't wait to see Jeff Hardy's drug test. He bet that it would be negative.
Yep.
I seen everybody coming after JD for saying something like this. Well, we
He
said
didn't.
the same thing. And
Exactly.
that's the first thing. He did not even say that, and we said the exact same thing. Could it have just been his pain? Could it have just been the man's pain? And then everybody's freaking out because, you're saying Jeff Hardy faked a relapse. I'm not saying he
No.
faked a relapse. I'm saying
God no.
no, I'm not saying he faked a fucking relapse to get fired. I'm just saying that for this man to be so sluggish, if it wasn't a relapse, don't you think
Okay.
it could have just been that the man's in pain because he's
Like,
been Jeff fucking Hardy for 20 years?
and he's still being Jeff Hardy with WWE schedule. You don't think that hurts? Come on, bruh. Come on.
I mean, good lord, man.
It's just
Good
common
fucking
sense.
lord.
I guess nobody has.
Bro, I don't know, man. Jeff acts sluggish, bro, and all of a sudden he's having a relapse. I mean, the
So
guy's
make
in
no sense.
pain. Do you want to jump off fucking 40-foot scaffoldings and
No,
tell me if you fucking hurt the next day? I mean, come on, man.
exactly.
Come on, bro. Jeff Hardy comments, actually, for the first time after his WWE release. While speaking on Matt Hardy's Twitch stream, Jeff Hardy commented on his release by taking an amusing shot at it. Jeff Hardy stated that he wants to team up with Matt Hardy in an Ultimate Deletion. On top of that, he was listening to Release Me by Wilson Phillips on the stream. Oh, man. Listen, AEW is not going to have a problem signing Jeff Hardy. They really are not. He is going to be fine. He will be in AEW. And like I said, bro,
Party, Matt.
if WWE officials think that he wasn't sober, why are people in the IWC villainizing those who believe that as well?
Exactly.
Come on, man. I mean, from the day he got sent home, Matt immediately came out and said Jeff is fine. Jeff is
He's
home.
fine.
He's fine.
Exactly. It's simple.
He's sluggish, okay? The
He's
man's fucking
painful.
44 years old. He's jumped off
Apparently.
40-foot things multiple times in his career. You know how many times he's taken the double knees to the back off a swanton bomb? You don't think that fucking hurts a man? You don't think that...
Exactly.
like I said, you motherfuckers jump off 40-foot scaffoldings, and then when you wake up the next day, tell me if it fucking hurts or not. And tell me if you're not sluggish
around.
the whole day.
Exactly. Slugging around because you're in pain. You got to be intoxicated. It just makes no sense to me. That was their instant. Like, do you not know how to read someone's body language? Like, are they all dumb backstage? Can you not see someone slugging around in pain and be like, oh, that person's intoxicated? Do you not know what being intoxicated looks like? God, these people are just stupid, man. Just stupid.
Genuinely, bro. Genuinely. MJF.
Bruh. Good old Maxwell.
Andrew Zarian on the We're Live Pal podcast. Okay. Said that WWE is very interested in MJF.
Oh my God.
Both Fox and USA Network executives have also been pushing for WWE to get him. Lots of interest in MJF, man. So, MJF quote tweeted this saying, "The bidding war of 2024.
Bruh. Well, first of all, USA needs to calm it down. Because if that would ever happen, he ain't gonna be on Raw. I don't know what to tell USA, bruh.
Nope.
They should know already.
MJF, bro. Listen, MJF is playing the bidding war of 2024 to be a, he's playing it up to get heel heat.
Oh, yeah.
Will MJF go to WWE? Does anybody honestly think that and by 2024, this man most likely will be world champion at some time by then?
100%. Oh, 100%.
This man MJF, bro, Chris Jericho said this. I can't remember which Talk is Jericho it was, but I remember him saying this. I've watched a lot of them, so bear with me here. He said, specifically, he mentioned how he was talking to MJF and he could never imagine working in that environment where you have to have somebody tell you what to say. And even if they do give MJF bullet points, do you think that's going to be anywhere remotely close to the MJF that we see now?
Exactly.
Fuck no. Hell no.
Oh, man. Come on,
Hell
bro.
no. MJF will never work in that PG environment where he can't
No.
even say, he can barely say goddamn like he did this past Wednesday when he said that this place is a goddamn dump. He can't bring up Ryback. He can't bring up CM Punk. He can't bring up people in AEW. He can't mention his past. You know what I mean? And on AEW, he's bringing up Cena. He's bringing up Triple H. He's bringing up Ryback. He's bringing up, all these people.
Fucked up shit imaginable.
Yeah, he's giving kids the finger.
Telling Texas they're fucking incest and inbred and shit.
He's
You
calling
can't say that shit.
He's calling fucking nerds at a gaming convention virgins. I mean,
Greatest moment ever, bro.
Bro, this shit doesn't get any better than this, bro.
Literally, WWE, Sami Zayn mentioned AEW once and canceled that segment they did, canceled all that shit, and they never talked about it again. What happens when the day MJF would go to that company, name drop Hangman, name drop Cody? You don't think he would name drop Cody? CM Punk? God, let MJF ever go to that company and feud a Roman. MJF will be talking about CM Punk. He'll be talking about Mox. He'll be talking about fucking everything.
You know
what?
Even
like that.
You know what though? I would like to see. This is what I would like to see. I would like to see MJF go to WWE for 1 year. For 1 year. And I would love to see a promo battle between him and Roman Reigns. Watch how fast he gets buried. Because WWE is going to be so mad at him for the things that he will say to that man. Bro, oh my God. Especially after that merch they just came out with. Oh my God, bro. MJF would fucking... Oh my God. He would eat him alive on the mic. Bro,
he really would, bro. He really fucking would, man. And then imagine MJF in the Miz. Imagine how MJF would murder that fucking geek on the mic. Bro. That man might as well retire after that shit.
Because literally the only thing they would have to say against MJF is he was in the Pissant company.
That's it.
And he comes from the bingo halls.
And that you're a Miz copy. That's all they'll say. That's what every opponent would say to him. Literally.
And on the other side of it, he would be absolutely obliterating them on the mic, bro.
Exactly.
I would like to see him get one of those deals where it's like one of the deals that they offered for the Young Bucks, where you have a 6-month clause, and if you're not happy and you want out, you can opt out. I would like to see him go to WWE for 6 months and just shit on fucking everybody, and then go right back to AEW. But MJF's not leaving AEW.
No.
MJF wants to keep. MJF doesn't want to have his character buried. He doesn't want to have his character. He doesn't want to have his character altered. He doesn't want to have it buried. He sure as hell doesn't want a fucking name change.
Oh God, what would they name him to? They would name him Maximoff fucking. Oh, bro, they'd name him some weird shit. They would say some weird act. Oh man, I would be dreading that shit.
Horrible
shit.
The bidding war of 2024 is as much as they want to play it up, and it's going to be played up until 2024. As much as they want to play it up, yeah, he's just using it for heat. We all know that MJF is not going anywhere. Yeah, I mean AEW is his home, man, for sure, and AEW is the type of environment where somebody like him can thrive, and you know that's where that man wants to be. So, Kevin Owens, the final news story for the day. Kevin Owens has re-signed with WWE. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
You're right.
The man that we all thought was going to leave.
I'll say it. I was wrong. was preaching that he would leave for a while now.
I
He
could
didn't.
have swore this man was going to leave, especially after all that COVID stuff.
Yeah, oh, bro. I think if his contract would have come up a year earlier, he would have left. But I think since it's had time to settle and shit, I think it's good now. But I think if his contract would have come up on 2020, this time 2020, might be a different
Oh,
story, man.
hell
But
yeah. Hell yeah.
I was wrong, bruh. I'll admit it. Thought he was out. He
I
was
thought he was
not.
out too. Thought he was out
I
too.
was fucking wrong.
I gotta say, man, it was
I was
definitely
talking a lot of shit.
me too, bro. Me too. The both of us.
Goddamn.
But listen, man, Kevin Owens re-signs with WWE, man, and we have a lot of side stories that go along with this.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Owens, first of all, got the bag. Let's just
Bro,
throw that out there.
he getting paid.
Like, I have the amount here, and we're gonna go over it. Holy
Oh, that's right.
shit!
That fucking money. Shit.
Holy shit! Kevin
Uh,
Owens signed a 3-year deal with WWE to make him one of the highest paid wrestlers in the company. All right, see, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll get to it, man. We'll get to it.
yeah.
But
But I like how it's a 3-year deal, not a 5-year. I like it.
yep, for
That's
sure.
smart.
So when he gets out of WWE, he'll be 40 years old.
That's not bad.
No.
Not in our current age of wrestling. I think he'll want to slow down, definitely. But I think at that age, he might want to appear in AEW. Maybe not
Yeah.
wrestle that much, but I think he would like to appear. Or could be just be throwing shit out there, bro. I was wrong about him leaving. Could be wrong about that, but who knows?
For sure. For sure. So, in his interview with Pat LaPrade of TV Sports, he said, and I quote, "I'm just going to say that it still ends on January 31st, but not 2022. I'm still going to be here for several years. The decision was pretty easy because it was really the best decision. It was really the best thing for my family. When it comes to that, it's always a pretty easy decision. WWE has been my home for 7 years, so I have a sense of belonging. Basically, I spent most of my career there. When you look at all the wrestling companies I've wrestled in WWE, that's where I've been the longest. That's where I need to be for the next few years. That's how I felt. That's how I made the decision."
Mm-mm.
So
Okay.
Kevin Owens, obviously, we know why he resigned, and I'm honestly not mad at him. I'm not mad at him. Kevin Owens, we know Kevin Owens to be one of the most family-oriented guys in
Oh, yeah.
wrestling.
100%.
For sure, one of the wrestling dad Mount Rushmores for sure.
Oh,
He's on
definitely.
there. He's on there.
Definitely.
Kevin Owens, this was a decision for his family. I mean, if I'm Kevin Owens, I would have left. That's just me though. I think
Yeah.
they've altered that character a lot. I think that they've messed with him a lot, and I just don't think that they fully have the appreciation for him. But I can't be mad at the man for making the decision, because if you're in his shoes, I'm sure you see that a lot differently
Exactly.
than we would. But like I said, he wasn't looking at it through a creative lens, because if he was, he would
No.
have been gone.
Oh,
But
Ben, go on.
he's obviously looking at this from his family's perspective, which you have to respect out of a guy. You have to.
Mhm.
You have
Exactly.
to. So Owens, if he were to go to AEW, for as much as we love guys in AEW, a lot of them are floating around doing nothing.
Oh, good amount of them. Yep.
Kevin
Hardy,
Owens,
Jamie.
Kevin
Mhm.
Owens is found himself kinda in that upper echelon. I cannot say the same for Sami, and we'll get to Sami in a minute, but Kevin Owens is kind of, like I said, found himself in that upper echelon of talent, and
Yeah.
he knows that, and I think he knows kind of where he'll be. But we'll get to the other parts right
Exactly.
here.
Exactly, man. Exactly. But yeah, his character kind of evolved over the years. He's kind of forced to be involved into like a CM Punk like guy, where he's kind of just says shit about the company every time he's got the mic. So, and it really started with the Shane stuff, but it's been crazy how much he's changed ever since he came into the company.
Yeah, man. So there was initial rumor that Kevin Owens had a no cut clause in his contract, and it came out that that is not true.
Mm,
Dave Meltzer reported on the latest. Shit. Dave Meltzer reported on the latest. Where was I at? Dave Meltzer reported on the latest Wrestling Observer Radio that Kevin Owens isn't immune from the cuts. His new contract does not include a no cut clause. This means he could be released at any time the company desires. Owens will work a lighter schedule. The deal is apparently for 3 years. Owens will earn an estimated sum of $2 to $3 million. He could still be
God,
released at any moment's notice, though, but this deal isn't too long. They're paying this man $1 million a year. If you're
shit.
a family man like Owens is,
I
we
think
can all see why he took it.
that pays
Um,
for college, first
yes.
car, hell,
Yep.
second car.
Yep.
Shit.
Yep. Um, Meltzer said, and I quote, "He might not. He might be on the road every every other week doing house shows, maybe every other week, and maybe every other week doing house shows, and then just doing Monday. Right now, right now he's doing house shows, but even now it's like two, so it's 3 days a week. Saturday, Sunday, Monday when he's working the house shows. A lot of weekends there aren't house shows, so the schedule brutality from the past is pretty much gone. The money is good. He did not get a no cut clause. He Dude, there's so many fucking commas in here. He didn't know he didn't know the other thing that I heard. 3 years from now, 3 years, that isn't too long. Okay, Meltzer
Man,
cannot talk. That was not me.
no.
Just
Oh,
I.
bro, don't know how to make multiple sentences. One big ass sentence.
Okay, so pretty much, Kevin Owens is going to be doing house shows every other week. It's a much lighter schedule, and pretty much he's doing two house shows now, so it's 3 days a week:
Oh,
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and
just
then he that's pretty much what he's doing now. But apparently, it's going to be lighter to the point where he said every other week he'll be, I'm sure, doing the 3 days.
oh yeah.
So
I was about to say, I feel like he would have asked for that in his contract to be more time with his family. You know
right,
what I mean? So that makes sense. I've had a feeling it would be something like that.
for sure, for sure. So yeah, man. And then he says at the end, 3 years is not too long, which is not. It's not.
No, not at all.
And
And
also
I, hmm
the reason, man, that I heard Kevin Owens, the real reason he signed with WWE was because I heard that AEW was not willing to match the price. They were not willing to
shit.
match WWE's offer, and they got a lot
And
of
I mean,
talent. So
and not saying KO's not worth that money, not at all. And not saying that he's old, but AEW's focus, like main focus, is really the younger guys right now. They want to focus on the Hooks, the Daniel Garcias, all them type of guys. They really, I think that's the main reason why they don't go for Brock too. We've talked about this before.
yeah,
They'd rather spend that money on, not saying KO
A
isn't the future,
Moriarty.
exactly, on the future. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? The next
yeah,
generation, because
right.
KO, he's still young. He has all the time he wants left, but they know he's not going to be here for the next 15 years. He's not going to be wrestling for the next 15 years. So I think their money priorities are in younger guys or just in more long term 15, 20 years guys that are going to be here. I think that's their main focus. And it's just how it is for them, you know what I mean?
For sure, for sure. So AEW wasn't willing to match the offer, and Cody said this in the opening prep rallies to this company. You know, you're not going to be getting paid a crazy amount of money here, but you still are going to be able to pay the bills and live very
Exactly.
well.
Make a living.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're going to make a lot of money, but
You're not going to be getting
you're
that
pretty much
NXT money.
you're not going to be making uh, WWE money, which at that point, WWE money is just
Well,
here's the
it's
money, so
fucking.
you'll stay, and then once we get
Mm-hmm.
our use out of you, you'll be released. You think Nick Khan
Exactly.
gives a fuck about Kevin Owens' family? No,
Oh, no, he
he
doesn't.
doesn't.
Which,
So, and honestly, I'm gonna say this now, bro. Once they get in there, oh, this guy's fat mood. Why are
mm-hmm,
we
it's
paying
going to
him
turn into a brawl.
$3 million?
Going to turn into. Which, I hope it doesn't. I hope he gets the full 3 million over the
Me
next
too.
3 years, because
Me
that's
too.
all. Because that'd be wasting his time of signing here, thinking he's gonna be getting paid 3 million and not getting paid 3 million. I don't, because they obviously don't pay out your contracts. They just end it, which is that's got to be so. One of the things they do that's got to be so illegal. But like, I hope that he gets this full. I hope
Me
they don't
too.
get in that mood, and I hope he doesn't get released. But this company, there's always that possibility.
Yeah, me too, man. I really wish the best for Owens, bro.
I hope they use him better too after this
Me too.
contract. I
Me
hope he
too.
wins at day one. I really
Me
do,
too.
because he deserves it.
He does. He does. He really does. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy,
Oh,
man. And you know, I mean, the best thing you could do is just support him. You
exactly.
know, AEW doesn't. Not that they don't need him because he'd be a great addition, but they got a lot of talent. You know what I
They have a
mean?
different
And
overall focus.
and with all these free agents coming up, with all these free agents coming up and stuff, man, you never want his name to get, thrown in there as just like,
Exactly.
oh, Owens is here too. But what about Keith Lee or
What
Wyndham,
about
Sami
exactly?
Zayn? You know what I mean? So, Cross, Lee, Gargano. You never want his name to get caught up in all this free agent,
Oh,
you
I
know.
talk exactly. You don't want it just to be in the mix of names because he's has big name value in the business. So,
Yeah,
and it should be
yeah.
treated that way.
So it's not like Owens. It's not like Owens is sorely needed in AEW. Now I told you this yesterday. If this was in 2019 or 20 the early 2020 when when AEW was barely off the ground, if Owens if Owens re-signed then when AEW didn't really have much depth, I probably would have been a little upset with him then. But
Hmm.
now they have a lot of depth,
A lot of
so
depth to
he
where. Mhm.
he is definitely needed when the time is right. But there's a lot in AEW now, man, and let's have the people that are not only there now, but the people we have coming in get some shine first.
Exactly, because there are people who are lost in shuffle already. Like I said, Jay Lethal, dude's already lost in the shuffle. We predicted
Yeah,
he would
we did
be.
it. We did.
There's just a couple people that just are just lost. It's a very full company. Not in the terms of they don't need anybody else and shouldn't sign anybody else, but it's waiting for the day over the next year and a half where they don't renew contracts. That's got to start
Yeah,
happening soon. So, and I think it will. But yeah, man, it's just a very full and very depth company where there's no trios titles yet. You know what I mean? There's not a crazy amount to do if you already don't have a big plan coming in. Like O'Reilly, everybody, them, us, we all know what his plan is coming in. It's set in stone. From the second Adam Cole debuted, set in stone, man. But like for people like KO, although he could be in the same league as KO with that whole circle, other than that, what would KO really have the space to do? He can't be world champion anytime soon, just because it's gonna be filled with Hangman, Cody, possibly MJF, all that. It's a pretty full company right now,
Right.
man, and there's a lot of things that need to still happen that are basically not scheduled to happen, but are gonna happen in the next year. So it's just a matter of finding where who fits and who doesn't. Not saying KO doesn't, but it's just how it is, man. And I hope, like I was just saying, I hope that he gets used in WWE better after this. I hope he wins at day one. I hope if he doesn't win at day one, he would be an amazing Royal Rumble winner. He would be perfect for it. I just want to see him succeed, man, and I really hope he does not get released, bro. Just because this man cares about his family, whole reason he resigned, and he deserves that whole 3 million that he could be
He
getting.
does.
Him and his family deserve that whole 3 million, bro. And
Yeah.
I hate house shows. I hate the idea of them. But anytime I see a clip of KO at a house show, it's the best thing. His house show clips are the fucking best, bruh. When he just talks to the fans, talks shits to them. Literally, there's just a clip that came out of him talking to shit to a fan saying he just made more than that fucking fan did in this show than he did his whole life. It's hilarious, bruh. I fucking love KO at the house shows.
Yeah, he's hilarious, bro. Now we're going to go over the reactions of WWE officials and the AEW locker room on Owens resigning. Wrestling Republic have learned that WWE officials did not expect Owens to sign a new deal with the company. Many in corporate presumed him joining AEW was a done deal. So that
Bruh,
was
they don't even have
WWE's
hope.
yeah, for real. Those are WWE officials, ladies and gentlemen.
And who did they fucking see as guaranteed? Didn't they see like, oh yeah, it was Gargano and O'Reilly. Didn't they see them as definitely signing?
Resigning?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
How do you?
apparently, those in NXT believe that both of them will
Oh,
be back.
damn. I think it's just the I think it's just the friendship that a lot of people in NXT seen between those two and like Shawn Michaels and Triple H. But other than that, how would you think that they're definitely gonna resign? They're resign, but KO isn't. Like, I don't know,
Exactly.
man. These officials don't even know their own employees.
And then, according to Fightful Select, several people within AEW, including those who have already gone public about wanting Owens to jump ship in 2022, are happy with his decision to stay in WWE. Uh, we haven't even got to the quote yet, but that just shows the people that work for AEW versus the people that
Exactly.
work in WWE. They are happy for their friend, as we are, because he deserves it. His family deserves it.
Hmm.
Owens is a good guy. We know Owens is a good guy. And yeah, we all love KO, and he
Exactly.
just did the best thing for his family, man. So
Oh yeah.
you can't fault him for that. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, you can't fault him for that. But
But
AEW anyway.
mhm.
Fightful also spoke to several involved with AEW, including a couple that have been open about wanting Owens to make the jump. Mostly everyone was happy and believed that AEW would be on the table whenever his deal was up. It was said that he maintains good relationships with many people there. One AEW source stated that, and I quote, anyone who knows Kevin knows his priorities are with his family first, and you have to be happy for them.
Mhm.
That's, like I said, man, that very
And
well said.
and also very well said that if it was the reverse situation and he was leaving, that WWE locker room would turn on that man so fast.
Hmm.
It's just that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like when MJF resigns with AEW, all those people that would are saying that they would be
He
down.
wasn't a big
Well,
deal anyway. He's just a
exactly.
less famous Miz.
Yep, that's all you're gonna hear from them. So it's just kind of a parallel to how each backstage acts. AEW is very happy for Owens. They just want him to make his money, feed his family, and do what he's got to do. And WWE side, second, someone doesn't want to sign with them or leaves, it's they weren't that great anyway. It's just a sad parallel that company has with its locker room.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And then the last part of this, Sami Zayn. Sami
Bruh,
Zayn.
Rami Zayn.
So, Kevin Owens re-signing with WWE could have led Sami Zayn to staying. Okay.
Mm.
After a lot of speculation of whether Owens would stay with WWE or not, it was revealed that Owens signed a multi-year contract with WWE, which, yes, it's said to be a multi-year deal. And wait, oh, Sean Ross Sapp said on a recent Q&A, he was asked if Owens resigning would help Sami to stay in WWE as well. He said, and I quote, "Yes, I do think that will help an awful lot." Now, there was also, according to Dave Meltzer, in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE fans may be in for yet another surprise. He reported that Sami Zayn might have already followed his old friend KO and signed a new WWE contract. Wrestlers in the locker room have been hearing rumors that he has, and I quote, there's also been locker room talk that Sami Zayn shows his real name, Rami Sabai,
Oh my god, his
37
name
years.
actually is Rami.
Yeah.
I thought you just took and said Rami Zayn as a joke. No way.
Oh
That's his
no.
actual.
Yeah,
What the
that's his.
fuck?
Yeah,
I didn't know that shit.
Rami Zayn.
Dude, that's gotta be his any name then. It's definitely gotta be. It's AEW.
37 did re-sign with WWE as well, but WWE sources have not confirmed Zayn signing to us yet. Zayn's a tricky one because
Yes.
Sami may want to stay with his friend, and that is very much
I
so a
understand.
possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to think too. Sami Zayn has never really been on WWE has never really treated Sami on the same level that they've treated Owens. Meaning,
God no.
they
He won't be getting jail money.
no, not at all, bro. Listen, Sami. See, if Sami stays in WWE, what's happening now with the Universal Championship is going to evaporate, and he's going to be right back to being whatever gimmick he has, the rebel
Yeah, the conspiracy. Fucking
yeah,
whatever.
great liberator.
Yeah.
He's going to be right back to doing that shtick and being a complete idiot. Now, could he have stayed? Yes, that's very possible. But I hope Sami didn't. I mean, I'm not going to be mad at him. These two are some of my favorites. So I'm going to support them regardless. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it could have been the wrong decision. Now, I understand you want to stay with your friend, and that's fine. And I'm not gonna hate you for it, but like I said, in my opinion, because see the thing with Sami and KO is they're not really a Cesaro situation where Cesaro openly on WWE talking smack, bitches about creative and how he's never gotten a chance, but then you resign. Owens has been treated well. Owens has never really came out and said, like, fuck this company, other than, like, storyline shit, with Shane and stuff, which was very real, don't get me wrong, but, and then Sami as well. Sami's never really came out and been like, I hate this place, fuck this place.
Exactly.
So,
he's never done that. So
these guys, like Nakamura, internally could just be happy. You know what I mean?
It could be. Exactly.
You know what I
They
mean?
could just like they could like the money. They could like the level of work. Because one thing is, all these guys, KO, Sammy, Nakamura, even Cesaro, those are all, when they were indie guys, that's when you had to slave away at the indies, you know what I mean? You had to fucking kill your body, you had to kill your schedule. It was brutal in those indie days. So I think those level of guys genuinely do like the lighter feel. Of course, WWE schedule sucks. It sucks. It's terrible. But it's still better than that working your way up through the indie schedule. You know what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
think it's that some that they like too. But a thing with Sammy, let's say he does get KO money. If he gets KO money, he will be 100% be Braun Strowman in 2022
Oh,
because they don't see him
100%.
as that type of guy to make that money. They don't see him as nothing more than a upper mid carder. So they're not gonna. So if they do give him the big bucks, it's sadly he will get released in 2022, which is how it is. KO, different situation, but they see those two way differently when it comes to on TV. KO has been world, well, not universal champ, possibly world champ. I hope so. He's faced Shane. You know, what I mean, he's faced a lot of big people and a lot of big names. He got called up from NXT through John Cena. You know what I mean? So KO has even though they could be very flip floppy with KO, overall they like KO. They see him at the near the top. But for Sammy, that's a different story, bro. So if they're giving him a good deal, they probably won't want to keep that good deal for too long, which sucks.
For
They
sure.
shouldn't do, but
For
they would.
sure. Yeah, no, I don't. Like I said, Sami Zayn, they look at those, or like Sir K was saying, bro, they look at those two very differently. So is that
Very
going to play
differently.
into a factor? And like you said, if he does get Braun Strowman money, or Kevin Owens money, he will be Braun Strowman,
Yep,
for sure.
because they believed Braun wasn't shouldn't be making that money. He wasn't giving that money back for what he was worth, and they already think like that with KO and not KO. I mean Sammy, even worse.
Yeah,
So hopefully, if he does resign, not saying it's for less money, but it'll be more secure contract if it is
and
for more less money than KO.
yeah, and even Owens too. They gave this man $3 million, but for the past, I want you guys to realize something, man. He hasn't been a world champion in 4 years. It's been 4 years,
Hmm.
2017, since this man has been a world champion.
Damn.
He's been floating around in little shit for
Yeah,
four
really.
years, and they gave him $3 million. You know, I hate to say it, and I hope it doesn't happen to
I,
him, but
I
I
know.
really don't. But I can see them Braun Strowmaning him too.
I can. I really can. If they don't, after this, within 2022, if they don't start having them do shit, win shit, not even just be a crazy world champion, but even like sniff the title or just fucking shit, be around,
Be a
be
mid
around
card
that
champ or
circle.
something.
Something, bro. Let the man do. Give the man
Who
something,
even is
bro.
the U.S. champ? Oh, Damian Priest.
Oh yeah, Damian fucking Priest, man. And if you want, if you want Damian Priest to have a legit person beat their title and take the title from him, KO's the perfect person. As long as you don't do the face of America again,
Oh
I'm down
fuck.
with it.
Yeah, for real.
Bro,
Forgot
remember
about
when his
that.
face was on the Tron and it was
I
always that
fucking
weird angle where it was
hated
just like
that.
a fucking wide. Oh man, I hated that shit. But it can,
Horrible.
and it's very possible that it could be a Braun Strowman situation. But I hope it's not. I hope after this he could win the title. He could maybe win the Rumble. He would be a great in the Elimination Chamber to win something like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
He'd be a great King of the Ring. There's a lot of shit you could have that man win. So, and I hope they actually start doing that shit now, giving that man 3 million that he earns and treating him the way he should be treated on TV. Accolades. That man needs to be given accolades. He
For
deserves
sure.
it.
He does.
He earned it. He earned it.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. He has. So with Sammy, we'll just have to wait and see. I certainly
Yeah.
hope not, man, because they have just
they don't see him like that.
They don't, and they've just done everything to embarrass the man ever
They
since he's
really
had this
do.
gimmick. You know what I mean? Ever since he's had this gimmick, bro. I mean, there was a point in the gimmick where they let him be him, and they let him
Hmm.
kind of be like a mastermind almost when he
Yeah,
was like IC champ, and that was great. But ever since then, he just comes out there and just talks, and
that's
that's
goofy
all he
shit.
does. He just does
Thanks.
goofy shit, and they humiliate him. They
Mm-hmm.
humiliate him, man. So I really hope that Sami doesn't resign. But like I said, if he does, obviously we'll be here to support him for it. But like Turkey said, man, if he gets that Kevin Owens money, he will be Braun Strowman 100%.
Exactly. Yep. Definitely.
For sure.
100%.
For sure.
God damn.
Yeah, man, that's everything we got, bro. That's everything that we got for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much everything.
That happened within the
Everything.
last week.
Yeah,
Not
pretty
a
much.
crazy week.
Yeah, we pretty much went over everything, man. So yeah, not really a crazy week. Kind of very laid back week with the news. It's been
Very
like
laid
that for
back.
a while. It's been like that for a while. Past couple
Yeah, that
weeks.
usually happens around
Yeah.
now, right before Mania season.
Right.
It's just, especially for WWE, it's just fucking, ugh, just nothing. And then
Nothing.
for on AEW right now, it's kind of that point where NXT will get sometimes where it's good, but it's good to the point where nothing really to talk about. I
Right.
remember when NXT would get in those weeks where it was a great
Yeah.
week, but it was
Yeah.
just great. The great to where you can't really talk too much about it. It's kind of
Right.
within it, those two combined creates for very slow news.
Right. For sure, man. For sure. Yeah, man. And with that, that is gonna do it for this edition of the Notorious Heels Podcast, man. It has been episode 88 of the podcast, man. So yeah, man, 88 weeks. Monday will
12
be
weeks.
89. So yeah, man, keep keep in your mind that Monday, or sorry, not Monday, next Wednesday we will be on here with the news, man. So, and like I said, we'll be bringing you guys a time probably on Monday. We'll let you guys know the time that we will be on. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, that like I said, man, that is gonna do it for this edition of the Notorious Heels Podcast. Once again, always a pleasure for my Johnny Mayhem,
And Sergey.
and that is gonna do it for the Notorious Heels Podcast, episode 88, man. Episode 88 of the news. 88 weeks, man. 12 away from 100. And with
Shit's
that,
crazy.
for sure, bro. With that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys on Monday for Notorious Unscripted. We'll see you guys then.
Peace.